welcome to your program Development Zone, where we celebrate achievers, unveil the core potential of our dear nation, and also celebrate those who have contributed immensely to the development of our great country. So on the program, we'll be talking finance and we'll be chatting with Alhaji Yusuf Gyallesu. He's the National President of National Association of Microfinance Bank. He'll be sharing with us the challenges in the microfinance sector, the way forward, and we also see his achievements so far since he has been office as National President of this great association. Sit back, relax, I'll be right back.
As you all know, the National Association of Microfinance Banks is an umbrella body of about 900 licensed microfinance banks in the country. Yeah, so this is the National Secretariat, and we are the ones doing the administrative activities that bring together the whole licensed microfinance banks. And we are in between, interfacing between the regulators, Central Bank, NDIC, and any other regulatory body with our members. You know, it will be difficult for the Central Bank or NDIC or any of the regulator to be interfacing with the 900 banks. So, as an umbrella body, everything they need from our sector for our members, they deal with us, and then we take it down to our members and get them to comply. Frankly speaking, it hasn't been easy. One, the timing of my ascension to the position of president was 2020. Now the tenure is 2-year single tenure, and you must be aware that during that time, that was when we had the COVID. There were restrictions of movements, there were disruptions in businesses and things like that. And for banks, just like any other business, you need people to come physically to patronize you so that you can get your business done. And so we faced that challenge, just like any other business in the country and by extension in the whole world. The COVID pandemic disruption was so great that all the same, by the grace of God, we were able to surmount that, and life is becoming coming back to normal, and things are moving the way it's expected. Like I've told you, we have close to 900 licensed microfinance banks who are the members of the association, and each bank is being represented in the association by the board chairman of that bank and the managing director of the bank, meaning we're expecting a whole lot of people tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's annual general meeting, like you rightly stated, also is the end of my tenure, and hopefully we are going to elect new set of national officers that will run the affairs of the association. So tomorrow is going to be a great day for me, and because that is when I will give the scorecard and all the achievements I have made, me and my team. The national body is comprising of 6 national officers. You have the national president, you have the first national president, then the second national president, you have the treasurer, you have the legal advisor, and then you have the publicity secretary. So these are the 6 positions that by the grace of God tomorrow we are going to elect, and we'll have a brand new team that will also take on the affairs of the association for the next 2 years. It's a single tenure, 2-year tenure. Because anytime we're having our elections, you have to look at the best hands that will come at that particular time to form a team so that we can deliver the promises that we have made during our various campaigns. And it has been very, very successful. The team has been very cooperative. We've been collaborating. We've been, talking to ourselves, and things so far have gone very, very well. And we are hoping that the next team that we are going to elect tomorrow will equally have that cohesion. They are going to work as one, as a team. That is our prayers, and by the grace of God, that will come to pass. Microfinance banking, okay? We are a highly regulated entity. Now, our business, like you know, we are licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria. We are being supervised. We have examinations by the various arms of the regulatory bodies. So ours as an association, like I've told you, that any policy that comes out from the regulators are shared to all the members for them to comply. And we as a body that is administratively looking after these different members, we ensure through public enlightenments, through trainings, capacity buildings, and stuff like that, to ensure that everyone is above board and is really complying, doing the business according to the rules and regulations of central bank. Like I've said, we are a highly regulated business, so we don't allow people just to do things the way they want to do, because here you are dealing with funds, depositors' funds, and then you are dealing with the shareholders' funds. So we will ensure whatever we do, we play by the book, we play within the rules to ensure safety and protection of these funds, given by different stakeholders in the business. We have what we call the unit license, where you are expected to operate within a locality, within your local government. Okay. Then you have the state license, where, assuming I'm coming from Kaduna State. So if I have a license of state microfinance bank, it means I have the right and powers to operate in any local government within Kaduna State. I cannot go beyond Kaduna State and delve into another state. That will be against the rules of my license. Then you have the national license, which now allows you to operate anywhere within the country. All over the country, you can operate anywhere. And each of these categories has a minimum share capital requirement as set by the central bank. Previously, for the unit, it was 20 million. With the 20 million, you can go approach central bank, provide all the necessary requirements. Central bank will do their due diligence on you and then give you an approval in principle, and then later give you a license to go and operate as a unit microfinance bank with 20 million. That 20 million now, by end of April this year, has been increased to 200 million. From 20 million, by 1,000% increase to 200 million. We cried out as an association. That is one of the things we do. It's one of our 5 main pillars: advocacy. We reached out to the regulators. We said, no, there is no way you can take somebody that is operating his licensed business in a very remote area of the country from 20 million. Even the 20 million to them was something that was so big for them to manage. Now, by fiat, by turning out a policy, we are forcing them and compelling them now to increase share capital to 200 million. Where are they going to get the extra 180 million? And especially in this very, very terrible economic situation that the country is in. You understand? So we cried out, and thank God CBN listened and reasoned to us. So what they have done is they have tied that unit microfinance bank license to urban unit microfinance bank and rural unit microfinance bank. For the urban, that is those that are in the cities, in the state capitals, the 200 million stands, okay? And then, but for those in the hinterland, in the rural areas, they have graciously reduced it from 200 million to 50 million. So with 50 million in any locality, community, you can run and do your business. That is for the unit. Now for the state, it used to be 100 million. With 100 million, you can get the license to operate in a particular state, in all the local governments that you choose within the state. However, with this new directive, from that 1 million, it has become 1 billion. That's another 1,000%. Then for the national, that's the one that you can operate anywhere and everywhere in the country. It used to be 2 billion, but it has been increased to 5 billion. That is where we are. However, like I've said, we are doing a lot of engagements. Advocacy is a continuous process. We are still fighting and trying for central bank to understand that out of these almost 900 microfinance banks, with this new regime of the recapitalization, more than half will not be able to make it, and they will automatically collapse. Now, when they collapse, there is going to be serious impact, on the economy. You understand? You can imagine you have about 900 microfinance banks, and suddenly, because of policy pronouncement, about 500 are dying. That's not a natural death. They are being killed. Okay, granted, there are some that on their own have stopped, doing businesses, and they have closed their shops, but they have not returned their licenses back to the central bank, because that's the ideal thing. You came on your own, applied, you were granted the license, and you started operating. For one reason or the other, you eroded your share capital through bad loans and other expenses, and then you don't have liquidity to do your daily business. Naturally, you will close shop. It is expected that when you are faced with that kind of problem, speak out. Association will assist you, the regulators will assist you, but where you can't, you go and return the license back to central bank. Gentlemen, you have given me license to this for so reasons. I don't think I will continue to do business. This is your license. So that 900 now will reduce to 599. So that anytime we're talking of licensed microfinance bank, we'll factor out those that have willingly surrendered the license. But we have a lot of them that have not done, but they're in that position. So those ones, and then for those who will say they have died naturally. But for these ones that are artificially dying because of a pronouncement by central bank, believe me, by the time you add them up, they are going to be over 500. So out of 900, over 500 banks die. They die off with deposited funds. You know, some of them, they have given out loans to customers and suddenly they are dying. There will be serious chaos in the system. And that is why we are continuously advocating to CBN. Please, reason with us. We agree. Granted, the 900 banks are too many. They are overwhelmed. They cannot effectively supervise us because we are too many for them. How many staff do they have in central bank to monitor and control? It's expected that every year, at least, either central bank or NDIC, that's Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, must visit every licensed microfinance to check how are they doing. Where they are getting it wrong, they will correct them. Where they need to give them sanctions, they will sanction them. But 900, how many of them do they have that can go right and do effective supervision? So we know they are overwhelmed by our numbers. And so this, one of the reasons for coming up with this recapitalization regime is to reduce our number to a manageable level that they can manage. But we are saying, yes, that is a good move. But have you looked at the flip side of it? There will be a lot of banks that will crash. There will be serious reputation, confidence that will be lost in the financial system. There will be a lot of unemployment because all these banks that are dying, automatically their staff will go out of business, out of jobs. And we are employing over around 74,000 workers in the microfinance banking sector. Don't forget, we have microfinance banks, which is what this association is, the umbrella body. There are other microfinance institutions which are not regulated. You understand? So once there's an issue with us, we that are regulated and we are licensed, there will be chaos. And this will also affect those banks that are able to make this minimum share capital. A lot of them, there will be run on them. Because once something happens to one member, people out there will think the same thing will happen to the other ones. You understand? And so people will be rushing to withdraw their monies. And once they start withdrawing their money, any bank that faces, deposit drawn, that bank will naturally die. Because all the customers will lose confidence in you. They feel that the next day, you too, you are going to go down. So they will come and salvage and take out their money. And that is your stock in trade, money funds. Once it's taken out, what do? You can't do business again. So that's it. So we are advocating for reduction in that minimum share capital by 50%. Each of the classes, they should reduce it to 50%. What I mean by this is, for the national license that used to be, that they have moved to 5 billion, let them bring it down to 3 billion. Okay? For those licenses, we have about 9-10 banks that are in that class of national. We call them the big boys. You know them. Okay? And then for the other ones, that's the states. From 1 billion, we say no, make it from 100 million, take it to 500 million. We know to effectively do your business, you need money. Okay, you need that capital. So, but instead of taking it to 1,000%, take it to 500. Let's stabilize the system. Let's see the progress, and then later you will do another injection. That time you have already finished with the 50%. So you are now starting afresh. If you say you are bringing another 50%, it will be 50% of that 500 million. Now that will be 750, and that's gradual increase. And we believe for any business, they should be allowed to grow, organic growth. That is, as you are doing your business, you are expanding, you are getting more money, you are widening your scope, your depth and reach to your customers. That is how a natural business should grow. Not by faith, they just say from today, and nobody's giving you one kobo to attend that new capital regime. So how do you, and then at the end of the day, it's our customers, the MSMEs, medium, micro, medium and small enterprise. They are the ones that will suffer, because any microfinance bank you go to, these are the people that we are catering for. Because when they go to the conventional banks, nobody listens to them. You can imagine, as a microfinance, somebody will walk to you and ask you for a loan of 10,000. If you give him, you have changed his life completely. Such a person, if he goes to a commercial bank, he will be a distraction to them. So that is why they set this microfinance bank. So if these banks are dying, those 10,000 customers will equally die with us. So that's the bigger picture, and we are appealing to CBN to reconsider and then do what we have recommended as critical stakeholders, as practitioners in this business. Taking time to explain the difference. You see, when you saw microfinance sector, okay, the microfinance sector consists of so many players, so many stakeholders. Microfinance banks that are licensed by central bank is just one out of many players in the microfinance sector. Another player is the unregulated, that is non-bank microfinance institutions, the clearly non-banks. Now, this issue you are talking about, mostly they fall there. Those ones, the major difference, they cannot take deposits from the public. You must have a license to operate as a bank before you can take deposit from the public. Their own is, the institutions are formed by groups, cooperatives and savings groups and things like that. The source of funding is from their members. They get funds from their members. They task themselves, okay, every member, for you to enjoy this, you must be putting X amount of money in your account with us. So that is how they raise their funds. But for us, we are free to go anywhere and mobilize deposits from the general public. So we that are regulated, highly regulated by the central bank, our members do not fall into that example we have given. It is unprofessional, because there is this thing of confidentiality between you and your customer. If today you are my customer as a bank, whatever issues I have with you, even your wife, the closest person to you, she comes to the bank, she wants to know, we will never divulge any information, because there is already a contractual agreement between us and you, and that element of confidentiality is there, is embedded. We cannot reveal anything about you to anybody, except you grant and write and sign and mandate us and allow us to do. That's the only time we can divulge your information. And mostly, those that we don't is maybe from the police, from the courts. These are other legal entities that have the powers and authority to go, because anytime they come to a bank for anything, there is a reason. So for such, we divulge without recourse to you. But those other ones, like the example I've given, we've been getting complaints, and we keep telling them, go and check. That is why it is required for any licensed microfinance bank, once you go to their head office or any of their offices, they must conspicuously display their license, okay, and they must also put the sticker of NDIC to tell the public that we are covered. If you bring your money, NDIC has covered you. There is an insurance on your deposits. So these two things must be there. If you go to those ones, you will never see any of those things, meaning they are not banks. That's why for us, any person that is floating a microfinance bank, that bank limited must be there to tell the public that this is a truly licensed, registered bank by central bank. So feel comfortable, go and do your business, because they are regulated. So what you are giving will never happen in us. I like to be remembered for the imprints, the footsteps I have left, because they say soldier come, soldier go, barrack remains. But at least before I assumed the position of the president, the association was at a particular level. Now, looking back, is the association, am I leaving the association at that level, or have I taken it to a higher level? And I think tomorrow at the AGM, it's the members that will to say yes, Yusuf and his team have taken us from this level to a higher level. And when we came in, that was the promise we made. I will not sing my praises, but I know as a leader, I know what we went through, I know where we picked, the leadership, and I know where we are today. So there are a lot of milestones that we will, display tomorrow for people that will say, yes, you have done this, we have done this, we have done this, we have done this. There are lots, a very long list. But like I've said, the people that elected us, gave us the mandate. It's tomorrow that we'll reel out what we have done. So it's for them to say, okay, you guys have done great, and then they will also expect the new people that are coming to come and build on that, because that is how you ensure development and growth in any organization. At every level, it's like a building. Start from the foundation. Your time is out, somebody will come and start putting blocks on your foundation. They will get to linter, you finish, you go, another person will come and do the roofing, things like that. So that is how we are growing, and I believe we are taking it to a higher level now. Me, I am a detribalized person. By the nature of my work, okay, I've been a banker all my life, about 38, 39 years, and it's taken me around different parts of the country. So I have interacted with different ethnicities, with different people of different faiths. So I am appealing to our people. Politics is about who can deliver. Okay, it's not about your tribe, it's not about your religion, it's not about your connection. But can this person, it's about competency. Can this person really deliver what we need? Because every government is there to provide some basic needs. Okay, security, there should be housing, there should be jobs, you take care of education, you take care of health. So any person, in whatever guise that person is coming, if that person can deliver this to you, I am appealing to our people to vote for that person. Sentiments about religion, about ethnicity should not come to play at all. If you do that, then you are getting it wrong from day one. You are electing or selecting or choosing the wrong person from day one. So my appeal is people should put sentiments aside. Look for competent person that will deliver, that they know they can deliver, and then try it. And the good thing about democracy is, if you think Yusuf Gyallesu is good, he can deliver, it's tenured 4 years. Once I start, you will be measuring, you will be getting me. If I'm not getting it right, there is a constitutional way of removing me and replacing me with another person. But I have never seen that done in Nigeria. They never recall anybody. They will make noise, and that's the end of it. They share money, and that's the end of it. So we should stop politics of money. I know everyone is hungry, but if you collect money from a politician and you elect him based on the money he has given you, tomorrow you will cry and you will regret, but you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. So forget about money, no godfatherism, forget about religion, forget about somebody's ethnicity. Elect a competent person that can deliver the dividends of democracy. That's my plea and prayer for our people.
Welcome back. Like you very know from my guest today, a lot has been achieved under his able leadership as the president of the association, and he took out time to enlighten us about the operations of the microfinance bank. He has also ensured. Come your way again. I remain the host, Joseph Onoko. Kindly click, share, and subscribe to our channel. God bless you.